So now we have the structure and we can start playing with the lighting. So I like to render this one with iRay, so we can make some testing to have iRay for rendering this kind of stuff. So let's go for setting iRay. Then in the renderer, let's go for maybe let's say 30 seconds, so it's really rough render. And we can go for the moment just to say to use half my CPU threads and my main video board. So if we go to render this one in this way, we'll have obviously nothing so interesting because we have no lighting inside the scene, and that's really a big issue. Now it is converting the vertices and transforming all the geometry to be moved for the rendering. So let's wait. So you see it was rendering, but we see nothing so important because we see nothing. So the first thing we need to do is to have lighting. Something that can be done is to use the Skylight, so we can use an image, a real image, to illuminate the scene. So to start setting the illumination, we can make something really simple. Let's go in the environment and we set a background, and inside our folder we have this HDR map. Let's use this one with the default value. And to start see something, let's hide this one. Let's make just a really simple, sorry, that is slowing down. Let's go to have a simple teapot there, just to have the illumination. And let's go to render. Now it is obviously really fast, but we are able to see the illumination starting to take care about our object. So you see that the sun is on the other side. So we can go there inside the viewport and say viewport background environment image. So now you see that we have the background image there. We have just to clone this one on an empty slot. And then we can, you see, just move this one to have the sun in the right position. To be sure that we see the sun, we can just move a little bit this one there, and then we can have this one back to 0. Let's see if the illumination is right. We have still the sun in the other side of the scene. But it's also because we have to remember to create a light and set to off, so we are not using the standard lighting. And for the moment, let's take the basic value. Okay, so we are starting to have the illumination. I like to have a more direct illumination, so we have to take care about the contrast of the image. So let's go for a color corrector, keep all map, and we need to have an higher contrast. Let's see how it is going. We have more illumination, the shadows are still. Let's go to have still more brightness and still more contrast. Okay, so you see that we have more lighting. Let's go to have another color corrector there, keep all map. And this one, let's go to advanced. Let's go to have an higher gamma. We are just, you see, keeping more illumination from this one, from the map. We have some shadows, so it is natural that we have some diffuse map, because we have some cloud over the sky. Let's see what happens if we have so our cave, so Untitled by name cave, and let's go to save. And to make the test we can have less detail, so let's remove the displays and the turbo smooth, so it will be faster to move everything to our illumination. So you see that we have a little bit of light coming inside from the out. I like to have more light coming inside, so let's stop. We can first of all go there and use the architectural sampler. This one is more useful when you are working on some architectural scene or, for example, interior, and that's nice to see how it is looking with a more complex environment, the environment we are working on. So if we go to see a preview, we should have a little bit more lighting is coming inside the scene. Sorry. Let's save. We can try another thing, and it's changing the output of the image to have more light. Let's go for 2. You see that we have a little bit more light coming inside, but we can also add, for example, a sun. So let's go for the daylight. And we go to change the parameters. So let's use the mid-ray sun. We use no skylight. And we go to change the setup for the daylight. Let's go to have, for example, 9, and we go to rotate the light. Let's go for 9. And let's try to have something like that. Or we can directly use a target direct to simulate the sun, so we don't need so strange stuff. Let's go to select the target, and we can move it. And then let's use the shadows. Now let's go lower, because, or maybe we can use the mid-ray photographic exposure and see how this lighting. Okay, the light is coming inside. Okay, so we have to decide the amount of lighting, and we can go also lower with film speed ISO. Let's go for 200, and let's start to have some material that can work in the right way. We'll use the arc and design, so we'll use a really basic material. Let's say rock, and we get to assign also to the low polygon area, and then let's select the water buff, and this one will be water. Assign, and let's go for an arc and design. So this one is just, a blue. We have no reflectivity, and this one is no reflective, just to have a rough idea. Let's saving. Okay, let's do another fast preview. That's what we are obtaining, and that's the lighting. So maybe it is really high. Let's go back there inside the environment, and let's set an higher value there for the f-stop, so we'll have less light coming inside the scene. And maybe this one is the right one. Okay. Let's have back the back lighting 2 with a skylight. So we'll have both illumination, but I like to see the map because actually it is not so visible. So let's set to off the light. Let's use a lower sides there just to be sure we see some lighting coming from the environment. Okay, we have to scale the illumination for this map, and in the output let's go for 50. It is starting to work. Let's go for 150. Okay, we start to have lighting coming inside. That's just a way to manipulate the skylight. Obviously you can do in different ways. It's not a big issue. That's good to have also a really high level there in the RGB to have more lighting, and you see that we have more light coming inside. Then we can have back the outer light, and maybe it can be less power. You see it has a lot of energy, but maybe it is nice to have in this way. So you see we have the sun entering inside, illuminating a lot, and then having all the illumination going all around. Okay, save, and let's see what happens when we have the details. So then we can start playing with the materials. So let's pick this one. We have the turbo smooth, and we have the displays. It will take maybe a little bit more to transform the surface because it is bigger. We are talking about 2.5 million polygons, but you see it is fast enough to move forward in a really speedy way. Okay, as you see, we have not so much lighting coming there, but then we can tweak it and understand how to play with it. So let's cancel and save, and let's start playing with this material.